What up, Whiskey Ginger fans? Welcome back to the show. If it's your first time joining the show, welcome to the show. We got a good one for you today, baby. So happy, so excited. I'm on the road right now. Currently, I'm overseas, down under, mate, with Bobby Lee. We're in Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Adelaide, Perth, Auckland, New Zealand. Then we go to Singapore. Go to badfriendspod.com for those tickets if you want those. But guess what? When I'm back. I'm making the final run in my tour. I go to New Orleans. Where you at, New Orleans? Show up. And then San Antonio. Then I take a little break. I go to Chicago. Then I go to San Diego and San Francisco and Boston and Philly and New York. I'm all over the place. And Phoenix, come see me. Go to andrewsantino.com for those tickets. andrewsantino.com.
In here, we pour whiskey, 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 whiskey.
You were that creature in the ginger beard.
Sturdy and ginger.
Like vampires, the ginger gene is a curse.
Gingers are beautiful.
You owe me $5 for the whiskey and $75 for the horse.
Gingers? Oh, hell no.
This whiskey is excellent.
Ginger. I like gingers.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Whiskey Ginger. My guest today is one of my favorite people on earth. I say that for all my guests, but I mean once again today, it's Joe Gatto.
Hey, I'm here.
Whoa, bro! Look at these Arizona iced tea.
Arizona iced tea ginsengs.
Put it up a little bit higher so we can see
these
That's
cats right
so
here.
Fly.
These guys.
Wow.
Suede. I don't want to brag. Suede up top.
Wow.
And then a pattern on the side there. Yeah, I knew that you. I love that
Someone's
you knew
got
that
a couple of
Arizonas.
dollars. Huh? That's
They were in
amazing.
the outlet.
No,
No, okay.
those got to be custom,
These
right?
are actually they were a gift.
Made from Mr. Arizona.
Yes.
Steve Arizona.
You know him? Good guy.
Yeah. Well, I met him one time at a party. What's funny is when I was in high school, I used to smoke a lot of pot, and I loved Arizona iced teas, and I'd get them at the gas station.
99 cents for the big one.
Love, and they used to make a division. Arizona used to make a series of, side ones, right? In different bottles.
The off centers.
Correct.
Yeah.
And one was called Memory. It was called Memory.
Okay.
And I thought if I'm smoking a lot of pot, I'd probably need to get my memory back. So I would drink a ton of these memories. And the flavor was amazing. I loved it so much.
Really?
One time I tweeted at them and was like, please bring back memory.
Memory?
I want to remember this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think they tweeted back at me a second, but if we
Forget
can get
it.
your plug.
If they didn't say forget it, I don't know. They're
Yeah.
not. That person who's run that Twitter should be totally.
Can you please reach out to them? Because you have the power and tell them to remake memory.
If that, but you mean I have social media? Yeah, sure. I'll
No,
reach out.
but they would listen
You
to
want
you.
memory? I'll get you some memory.
Yeah, I look, they don't. There's no way they make it anymore. They may make it in certain markets, but hold on, let me see.
Yeah, you might have to do it might be a little niche now. They might not just do wide distribution, but you probably get your hands on some.
Dude, I loved memory. Here, I'll show you what it looked like too. There you go. Boom, there it is. It is memory, and it looked like this. And this is how weird and lame this is. I have that bottle. It had Einstein on the bottle.
Oh wow!
But I have one in my closet at my mom's house. I like this. So the other ones were stress, health, and energy.
I remember the other one that was a purple bottle that looks similar to that.
No, that's memory. I think.
No, it wasn't memory. It was a ginseng based one. No, that was that line. That's the 4 line. That was a power line.
This is it, dude.
I date back a little bit before you though.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
I'm 48. So my honey ginseng game, I was in 7-Elevens a little bit before your time.
I'm 41, dude. You're not that much old. You're not like
6 years is a lot. That's a full high school, a little bit.
Well, it's 7 actually, but you're not good at math, are you?
I'm great at math, but I did it on purpose, and I'm glad you caught it.
God, I love you so much. I want everyone, first of all, to indulge yourself after this podcast, during this podcast. Even take a break and then go and then come back because you're on YouTube anyway, if you are. Go watch Mr. Gatto special. I have to say it with a little bit of Gatto. Mr. Gatto special. Mm-hmm. It's on YouTube right now on his channel.
It's on 800 Pound Gorilla's channel.
Oh, it is on theirs?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I was just going to say they produced it, 800 Pound, who are family. They're part of the crew. We love those cats. They did. They helped me out with mine. Go watch it right now. Yeah. Please, and then come back to the show.
Oh, yes, please.
Right? Where'd you film this one?
This one I filmed in. It was in March of last year at the Huntington Paramount Theater in Huntington, New York.
Ooh,
my hometown. I'm Long Island guy, so it was great.
I forgot you're a Long Island guy. I thought because
I'm very. You don't know
I know you're New York, but who knows with New York? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
But also,
I've lived in multiple New Yorks, different places. Staten Island growing up. I lived in Manhattan for almost 8 years, and then I ended up out on Long Island. So,
and you're still back out there.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
What a pretty place Long Island is.
Oh, it's so nice.
It's kind of like when I see movies when I was a kid and they showed neighborhoods. I always thought they were like Chicago neighbor. I was like, that's like what we, but it's Long Island. It's all Long Island, isn't
always.
it? Everything's based off of either Jersey or Long Island. I say most movies are.
Suburban New Jersey and suburban Long Island have similarities.
They're
sure.
really close.
Yeah, for sure.
Different kinds of scumbags exist in
They're
both,
different.
right?
Yeah, we each have our own type.
Right.
And we don't like to mix and match.
That's right. Keep them separated.
It's funny because when you grow up in Staten Island, most people either make a left or a right when they get old enough and to have like families. They go to Jersey or to Long Island.
That's really funny.
I have one sister's in Jersey and one sister's in Long Island.
Do they get along?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
We don't. Not just. That'd be great. If I was like,
no,
next question.
We don't talk, and let's not talk about it. If I'm being honest, that's great though to film it back at home. I think that's like the homecoming is a really important thing for comics or something about it. Although it's anxiety inducing, right? Whenever I go home, people are like, "Do you like playing Chicago?" And I'm like, "It's hard." Because everyone wants, you have to.
Everyone wants tickets. I know what you're saying. Everybody's saying,
No.
It's like me playing in Atlantic City. It's like, hey, yo, cuz, can I get 42 tickets?
You're my mechanic. You're not my. You're not blood.
Well, I was able to have my kids at it, which was great. So they were in the beginning and they came out at the end.
Oh, that's so
that was
cute.
So really cool. Yeah.
Look, the tickets doesn't bother me. It's more that you have to be a host.
Yeah.
You have to host a pre-party, an after party. So unfortunately, part of your brain is thinking about organization of family and friends because you want to make sure you're doing right by everyone that came.
It's another level. It's another level that's only added at home. It's another part of your brain that has to be used at home.
Yeah,
your
that's
host
tough.
kicks in. Everywhere else, you're a guest.
Isn't that so nice? I love being a guest. You come into a city.
Yeah.
You're there just for the show. You get to kind of like meander about, grab a coffee, kind of disappear.
I also like that you meet new people.
Yes.
Like at your home shows, you don't. It's like you're seeing all old friends, whatever. But when you're out and about, you get to meet new people, hear new stories. I love that.
Have you ever had an ex show up to one of these shows?
Yeah.
Whoa, how's that?
I'll let you know. We're still working it out. No, I'm just kidding. No, I had a. It was a long time ago ex that we didn't even keep in contact,
Right.
And didn't know that she would be there,
Like a childhood,
it was like I was like young 20s,
Right.
And she was in town. I was in the town she lived in, and and then she was like, "Hey, I'm here, and you did great," and I was like, "Oh, okay, thanks."
Thank you.
Like, wait from stage. But yeah,
Goodbye.
So, but that's weird because you don't know until it's over. I think I'd rather that instead of, "Hey, I'm here watching you."
I'm staring at you right now. Are you about to go on? I'm here right now. Yeah.
Nice shirt.
Yeah. Let me turn my phone off real fast before I get on stage.
Yeah.
Are you guys doing? By the way, is Jokers doing the cruise stuff still and all that or no?
They did one without me. I don't know if they're doing another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you don't like cruises anyway.
I love the cruises. Going on
Do you?
vacation with fans was so fun.
I can't be on a boat.
But being on the boat was the tough part.
Can't be on a boat.
Yeah.
I'd love the idea, right? Like I think I've been offered a bunch of different cruises because now like Bert did one, and then the bands have done them. And
Bert did our second cruise. I just talked to him about it. He saw ours and was like, "I want to do this."
Oh, really?
He did our second one. Yeah.
See, I think he offered, and then I got one from like some band or something, and both times I was like, ideally, it would be cool.
And we're here to announce Whiskey Parmesan.
Well,
the cruise.
Toot toot! It's on a big block of cheese.
We're coming.
I
We're
have
going from
such a-
Chicago to Long Island.
It's a long trip.
Yeah.
But it's worth it.
It's worth it.
It's
Yeah,
all
we
lakes and
we
rivers.
have to go up through Canada.
Right. No, it's all lakes and rivers, baby. Sometimes we're on a car.
Yeah.
I just don't. Cruises freak me out too.
What I
can't
did like about
explain
the
it.
cruise that we did was we curated the whole thing, so we took it over and we were able to bring that's how we met. I've met so many people before, dating back in the stand up game because Sal would hand pick people that he wanted to work with. He thought was funny. Would come on the musicians,
Right.
And then by the third or fourth one, they wanted us to do like events. So I came up with a great scam. And the fourth one, we were getting a piece of the casino. So I was like, hey, we'll do a gambling with Joe.
Yes.
And I love to gamble. So I played dice and I taught people how to gamble. And I did my night event. My event was me gambling for 4 hours with fans,
Perfect.
teaching them how to play craps. It was so fun. And when I was losing money, we were like laughing. I was like, oh, I got 10% back. So it was.
I'm only losing 90% of this money.
90% of it, yeah.
That's good though. You're a big craps guy?
Yeah, craps.
No
I'm a
cards?
big casino. Yeah.
You like
Baccarat, blackjack. I don't play poker. I don't like taking other people's money.
Poker to me, I know people. I've been asked to go to like these poker things.
Yeah.
I don't like to sit that long because when I'm done at a table, I want to walk away immediately.
Yeah, I did one and I was done with it. And I was like, I did the celebrity poker tour run by Blake Wynn, which is so fun. And I did it, and then it got fun, and then it got serious. And I was like, I went all in. I was like, I'm in, you know. And then I lost. I was like, oh, okay,
I'm in because I'm out.
Yeah,
I
and if I was one, it wasn't too bad of a hand to go all in on, but I was just like, you know what, it'll go either way.
Right.
I had fun, but it started getting a little bit too like cutthroaty, and I'm like, this is
Yeah, that's not the fun. To me, like I'm not a big gambler. Gambling runs in my family. My grandfather, to the day he almost died, worked at the dog track in Chicago.
Great.
The dog track, not the horse track.
Nope.
The dog track.
Dog tracks.
Yeah, he worked
strictly Chihuahuas, long races.
We had a Pomeranian at noon. It was tough. That was a hard run. But he did the
Finished
dog
by
track.
4 p.m.
Yeah. It's always a matinee. But I was a kid. I used to go to watch the dogs run, and I was fascinated by the greyhounds. Yeah, there goes that rabbit.
My grandfather and grandmother moved down to Florida for a minute, and
That's big down
and
there.
They did the dog races down there, and I used to go see the dog races.
Yeah, it is. It was really fun. And then he would later work at Arlington, which was a horse track. But Maywood, the dog track, was so fun.
Did they have that? Here's Sparky.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the rabbit goes, and you
There
see the
goes
dog
that
go.
rabbit. I used to, for some reason, it was way more fun to me than the horses because the dogs, it looked so much more powerful. I know a horse is clearly more powerful, but the dogs looked so.
It was because they're low to the ground.
Yeah, that you can
see that.
feel it.
ju-
You can feel the power.
You
of
feel
how-
the thunder of horses running by.
Yeah.
But you see, like, they're so, like, the way they run, too, it's insane. Like, have you ever seen the slow motion videos?
Yes, it's absurd.
It's unreal.
They're
how they
jumping
do
like
it.
12 feet.
They're using the whole body.
It's insane to watch.
Yeah.
I used to love going to see that. And then back in the day when I was a kid, they used to have like they'd have like a local boxing night there. It was any way to make money on the side of making money
100%.
because it was OTB when races are over, and then they'd have local boxing. They would have like they had indoor shuffleboard nights for money. It was so funny.
Rock, paper, scissors, guess
Right.
the number.
Yeah,
It was like,
arm wrestling,
Yeah.
spit competition.
Right.
How far can you spit? Line up. Yeah, honestly, anything for gambling. My grandfather worked the windows honestly since I was a kid till I can remember till he got much older.
Really?
Yeah. So it was a part of my family. So gambling for me, I never really got sucked in because I saw
the dirty underbelly.
I saw what it did. Well, I saw the loss level.
Yeah, of
It was
course.
so high. Most people we would see would lose,
Yeah.
and they would talk about it like, you know, oh, I got to go back to the boat and get some money. You know, because in Illinois, it has to be on water.
On the water,
yeah.
yeah.
So the boat was always like, I
Which
gotta
is
go to the
so
boat.
weird to me.
It's a dumb rule. Well, they
It's
just
so-
built a new one too. That's technically on water as
Right,
well.
because it's all they have to do is it's built into the ground,
Yep.
but it has to have a bridge that's not the boat is not attached to.
Correct. It's
which
all-
is so weird.
Yeah, come on.
It's basically they built a building on water.
Yeah.
and that's it.
yeah. Well, technically, we're all on water.
I know.
Yeah.
You
On
dig
water
deep-
right now.
You dig deep enough, we're all on
Right.
water. Yeah,
That's a big scam that Illinois, well, amongst many other scams.
Yeah.
Don't get me into the toll roads. Was that a thing as a kid? Tolls for you guys? You always had tolls, right?
Oh, the Verrazano Bridge.
Right, the
man,
Verrazano Bridge.
Huge. That's why Staten Island almost seceded.
How much
We
is
almost
that to
left
go
the
to
Union.
Staten Island?
Right now it's like $14 or $16.
One way?
Yeah.
That is what a
You
joke.
only pay on the way. I think you only pay on the way out or way in. You only pay one way though.
I imagine you pay into Manhattan
I would probably hope so because nobody's paying that much money to get it.
to get to Staten Island.
You have to get through Staten Island to get to Jersey. That's where they make
Oh,
their
that's
money.
true, yeah.
That's the angle.
Come on this way, yeah. Go this way,
If
yeah.
not, you gotta go all the way around
Right,
and
right.
stuff. But yeah, I remember like there was a huge thing about because the toll went up. There's this thing, the Staten Island Ferry, which you know, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's
Taking
free.
it.
It's free.
Yeah.
For life.
And it should be.
For life. Yeah,
It should
true.
be.
But for life. Like you could get to Manhattan for free.
Yeah.
Or you could take the bridge and drive and then take the tunnel or whatever, and it costs you like $42 by the time you're there. So it's insane. I remember when they were trying to put up the bridge, there was the whole thing why Staten Island wanted to secede. This was probably back in the 80s, maybe late 80s. And they were like, because we're not paying that money, we're not going to have this toll to get home.
Right.
And they came up with giving the Staten Island resident break. So
That's
Staten
cool.
Islanders pay less. Yeah.
That's genius. Help them out. How about the locals?
How about the locals? It's our place. It's our land.
Right. It's our land. It's our
We
land.
were here first.
We took it, but it's ours.
Yeah.
Well, like as a kid, I remember my dad always complaining about the tolls, and they always went up and up and up and up and up, and it was this whole thing where Chicago promised that at some point the tolls had paid for the roads and then they'll be removed.
Oh, that's always the promise.
Come on.
That's like, oh, but the upkeep and all, but yeah, nobody
Come on,
knows.
it'll never. No.
Never.
And even then they removed toll booth guys, which I used to love as a kid. They're all gone now.
I got a great toll booth guy story.
Give it to me, baby.
Driving down to Florida, 99. Speaking of cruises,
Yeah.
to welcome in the 2000s, me and 5 of my friends, us 6 go down. We're driving from New Jersey down to Florida.
That's your Y2K.
Yes, my Y2K
That's
on,
cool.
on water.
Cool.
Illinois gambling. So we're going down and we're driving and we have the 2000s glasses on and on repeat. The 6 of us are in this beat up van that we rented, and we're playing 1999 by
Prince.
Prince, right? So probably like 1999, and we're all laughing, singing. My cousin is driving, I'm sitting shotgun, and they have those buckets where you throw the 35 cents in, you know, and you don't even have to slow down, stop, right? So, and you just wait for the little handle to go up, right? So my cousin's singing, we're laughing, whatever, and he's like 2000, and he just boom out the thing, and he didn't realize that he didn't go to a basket, he went to a toll collector, so he hits this woman with 35 cents in her face, and she goes, oh. And you just heard ding, ding, ding. And he just looks so embarrassed. And she goes, what are you doing? And he turned beet red. It was the funniest thing I ever
Throwing
seen.
change at a poor
she was just
as if her gig isn't hard enough.
I know.
And you're hucking change
at her. She
at
got
her.
a nickel in the face, this poor woman. It was so funny.
I used to love to try, when I was in high school, I used to love to see how fast I could go. You know, with your aim, you really learn
how
to,
far out.
Yeah, and you really learn how you have to shoot, how early you can shoot before the, you know what I mean?
Go, right.
You're learning physics, really,
the
is
wind,
what it is.
The wind, you got to compensate.
Test the wind, test the weather. It's a little cold. The coins might fly a little bit less far. Yeah, I used to love doing that. When I was in high school, my dad used to complain about the tolls incessantly. And now when I go and I grab one of their cars to go drive around somewhere, it is funny. Everything is the, iPass or whatever they call it.
They
now.
take the picture of the plate now in New York. You don't even need that.
You don't need the digital thing?
So they basically have you,
Yeah.
and they take a picture, and then they just charge your account. So it links up. You don't even need the little toll pass.
They got us, don't they?
They got us so bad.
They got us wrapped up.
Take your picture here. Give me your fingerprint. Pee in this cup. Like all the time.
I'm always peeing in cups.
I know,
Why is
people-
everywhere
it's so
I go?
weird.
I went to a bakery down the road. They made me pee in a cup.
I bought it a flight.
I do that when I park at the airport, in the garages now, because sometimes I drive.
You park at the airport.
I do like it because when I get my bags, you can get a garage right across from me. It's a little pricey, but I
you're
found.
okay.
Well, no, this is actually an intervention to try to borrow some money from you.
Do you want to borrow $20 so you
Please,
can park?
please. But what it's for is because it costs me so much to get to the airport. If I take a car, it's the same cost.
Same
So
cost.
I drive because I like the comfort of getting my bags, getting right in my car,
Not
not
waiting.
to where is a driver and go to the Uber thing. And it's like, never mind. So I just get in.
That changes the when I land at an airport, that changes the whole experience for me about a city.
100%.
If I have to get on a bus to go get an Uber or walk to, hate that. LaGuardia does it the best. New York LaGuardia, fantastic. Baggage claim out the door, it's right there.
LaGuardia is the best.
The best LaGuardia.
It's but honestly, it's so great.
When
I hear that I have
what a
to
comeback story, LaGuardia.
I
Airport.
know.
It was.
They were down.
Oh, down.
They were down.
out.
It was
Down.
game 6.
Nobody was going. You'd go there, and it would be like end of days.
People are like, you going to LaGuardia?
Oh,
Why?
what happened?
Is
You
everything okay? Are you
Let
good?
me help you. Give me here.
Yeah, here's
go to
$20.
JFK. Go to JFK.
I hated going to JFK. Now, when they ever said, whenever I do a gig or they're flying me in and they say, oh, they're going through JFK, I'm always like, is there any other way I can do anything else?
JFK.
I'm actually a sucker for Newark. I'm not going to lie. Big Newark fan.
Wow.
It's just
gonna
because
be
it's quick
third
to get
soon.
downtown.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why.
Yeah, but you're rocking O'Hare at home, right? In Chicago. That's
it's the worst airport in the world,
that's
other than us, other than LA. O'Hare is
O'Hare is
it's a nightmare.
insane. Yeah.
But what I like about O'Hare, this is all airport talk for everyone that
Yeah,
wants
guys,
to
tune in. Thanks for tuning in to Airport Talk.
No, but what I like about it is
The Home Alone references. You
yeah,
go down
that's
Home
that
Alone
I can
Hall.
run through that little tunnel.
I do all the time. Even if I'm late or not, I'm just running.
I like that the traffic cops that are outside at O'Hare. This is the only New York does it a little bit. They're the meanest, rudest, like no waiting. You're there for 3 seconds, like let's go.
Yeah, get out.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because LA. They
just
don't
sit
exist.
there,
Yeah,
they're
they
on
let
their
you sit
phone.
for hours.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. I like that they push them, and then they get in an argument. And the guy's like, "Oh no, wait!" Like, let's go, Loop, let's go.
Yeah.
I love that the cops take control. Sometimes they'll do that, and they'll look up, and I'll go, "Thank you."
Yeah.
Thank you.
I saw a guy trying to get out of his car in, I think it was actually Chicago. It was one of the airports. The guy was trying to get out of the car. The guard clearly had a day. He had lost it, right? So this guy was like yelling at him through his window. And he's like, I just had to get out. And he went to get out of his car and he shut the door on him as he was getting out of the car. And he's like, move your vehicle.
Love it. Give that guy a medal.
He and the guy just like looked at him and drove away. I was like, wow, that guy is winning.
That's the next thing. We're going to give medals of honor at the White House to airport security. Move along, guys.
That's it.
You're like you're doing a job nobody wants to do.
Nobody wants that gig.
I just came back into town and I had to wait for golf clubs. I took golf clubs with me to Vancouver, and you've learned. We know. Customer service is everything, and being polite to these people means the world. Don't be the guy that I know you're having a tough day. Maybe you missed a flight, you got delayed, blah, blah, blah. I'm waiting for the oversized baggage, and this guy comes storming up, and he's kind of giving the young man that's working on the baggage a little bit of lip.
Throwing guff.
A little bit. Yeah, a little high shoulder, a little doing that thing. And I'm waiting there patiently on my phone, and as the bang things open up and the bags come out, the young man comes and goes beelines to me. and goes, "Sir, can I have your bag tag number?" And this guy's like, "Hey, what?" But I was quiet, polite, didn't say anything. I said, "I'm just waiting for my bag." You know.
Did you break him off?
Oh yeah, you have to.
You got to break him
Well,
off.
I mean, that's how you get that.
That's how you get that. Did you broke him off pre? Can I get your number or post?
No, post. Always post.
Oh, always pre.
Oh, really? See, I always
Do you tip the valet guy after you get your car back?
Yeah, of course.
Dumb.
Post. You tip them before you get your car?
Of course, but you tip them before because that's
Changing
when
my
they
whole
have, that's
world.
when they have your vehicle.
I'm always afterwards.
That's when they have your vehicle. When I drop off my car, I hit them hard.
But see,
keep it close. I'll be out in an hour.
Oh, well, you're a keep it close guy.
I always keep it close.
I tell him put it as far away as possible.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the difference. You like to get your steps in.
Yeah. Dude,
no,
I gotta
for
get
me,
10,000.
I always tip. I always tip on, and in the bathrooms, like when I doing the, you know,
you have to.
I don't tip on the towel. I tip on the take. If I take something, I tip you. I don't tip on a towel.
Tipping on a towel is tough, but it depends on the venue.
Yeah.
Right, like if I'm at a fancy place, I feel like it's a forced thing. If I'm at a place where
The Viper Room.
well, yeah. If I'm over there, huh? If I'm with one of the Phoenix family
Watch
brothers,
my back one with the urinal.
if there comes a guy was there with a knife, can you please stop him?
Yeah.
I just have learned that a couple of bucks, it goes a long way with those guys. So it's just a little bit here and there. I always tip that. Now let's talk about it. I am a little bit. We've all talked about how sick we are of this, but a lot of times you'll go to a counter.
The screen.
What are we talking about?
Yeah.
Starts at like 25, and I know this topic has been beat to death, but I now am I flagrant to do this? I just went to a place this morning. You order, they don't serve you. You wait for your order. You take it to your table. I tip a different number. It'll be 20, 25, 30. But I tip
Custom.
just
You're a custom guy.
I
I'm a custom guy too.
Right.
I'm a custom guy all the time.
Why am I giving 20? So if I bought a meal for me, my buddy, and a friend, it's a lot of money. It's a takeaway, right? We're sitting down, but
Yep.
you know, I ordered it. I went up and took it. I do the custom because I'm like, that's not a 20%er.
Yeah.
There's no chance. Am I wrong to do this?
No, I think custom's the way to go, even if it's going to be more or less, whatever. Even if you're going to do, I don't do presets. You don't decide for me. I decide how much it's going to be.
Right.
I also round to the dollar. I'm not tipping $8.21.
Feels weird.
That feels weird. I'll give you
I
9
round.
or I'll give you an 8.
Correct. I
Yeah,
round. I
like-
did that this morning. I rounded off. I was like, I'm just going to give him a rounded off tip.
Now, the big contributing factor for me in those scenarios is what am I getting hit with the energy? Are those people being friendly? Are they nice? Are they making this a pleasant experience? Not so much as what you're doing. I also can't make this. I can't make this honey latte as well as you can. I'm not going to pop back there and make my own. So I'm going to give you a reward for that. But are we doing it with a smile? Are we doing it angrily? Are we huffing and guffing? What are we doing here?
Right.
Are you opening up the new oat milk or am I getting the old one? There's a lot of contributing factors to that custom. So
Paper straws are plastic.
yeah. Oh, if they're coming at me with forget
Paper
it.
straws?
If they come at me with a paper straw, just I'm taking dollars off.
Yeah, I go back into the tip jar. I grab money back. I go, no,
smack
go
him in
get
the
some
face.
straws.
Now you know.
In here, we pour whiskey.
Hey, no one wants to think about debt, but the cold hard truth is many of us will go deeper and deeper into debt during the holidays. Unfortunately, last year, half of American consumers took on debt to pay for the holidays, and that's no bueno. And this year could be you. It could be worse. You never know. If you're making payments every month on your debt and your balances are not going down, PDS has solutions for you. Everyone with $10,000 or more in eligible debt qualifies, and there is no minimum credit score required. Bad and fair credit is accepted. Look, we've all been in debt. I was in debt heavy when I moved to Los Angeles. It was very tough, specifically during the holidays, to get around catching plane flights and seeing people and gas and groceries and gifts. And what are you going to get, mom and dad, this year? Who knows? But don't bury yourself in debt. Help yourself with PDS Debt. Start planning today. Get a free debt analysis right now at pdsdebt.com/whiskey. It only takes 30 seconds. That is pdsdebt.com/whiskey. pdsdebt.com/whiskey. This episode of Whiskey Ginger is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is the place to create your own beautiful, unbelievably easy-to-use website. You can engage your audience, sell anything from products to content to time, all in one place, all on your terms, ladies and gents. Let me tell you, I've been using Squarespace for quite a while now. Been talking about them on the show for even longer. I do love their product. Back in the day, you had to know what C++ was in programming to create a beautiful, seamless website. Not today. You don't got to do that anymore. Now, with Squarespace, they have design intelligence that's combining 2 decades of industry-leading design expertise with cutting-edge AI technology to unlock your strongest creative potential. What this does, by the way, is makes it so easy for your customers to have Squarespace payments accessed on there, and give your customers more ways to pay with popular payment methods like Klarna, ACH Direct Debit, US, Apple Pay, Afterpay, ClearPay, and all the goods. invoicing, there's SEO tools, and you can sell content on there, which is probably the most important thing because everyone is a content creator now. We're all creating content and we're all selling it. And use these tools that Squarespace has created to make a beautiful, seamless website. Right now, it is so very easy. So head over to squarespace.com for a free trial. When you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/whiskey to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Once again, squarespace.com, free trial. When you are ready to launch, squarespace.com/whiskey to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
Ginger. I like gingers.
It is a part of the culture that I think as the more we travel, the more you start to learn the shakes of that whole thing, because we're always out eating out, hotels, da-da-da. Sure. And you start to learn that you're like, look, I want to be generous and nice and all that stuff, but also we're all getting taken advantage of a little bit.
A little bit. I had an experience not too long ago that somebody declined on my behalf. It was a coffee spot. I ordered a whatever coffee. The thing came up. They clicked no tip, and they go here, just sign here. And I said, did you just not? I said, oh, where do I put the tip? And they're like, oh, no, because they knew I was getting a drip coffee from my friend. Oh, literally and that's it, right? So I took $10 out of my pocket and I put it right in the bucket. See? I said, that's so nice of you.
That's a good universe. I over tipped the other day because someone had left the thing. They got to the sign portion and they didn't sign and press next. So I said to the guy, I go, hey, this guy didn't close out, and I was gonna over tip for fun for
30%.
him. Yeah, it'd be funny. Yeah. And he grabbed it. I go, oh, here. And he goes, no, hold on. And he put it to 0 tip. And he was like, nah, man, my conscience wouldn't let me do it. So then I over tipped on mine to make up for the other schmuck that didn't finish.
That's great.
So wherever you are, a guy with a blue hat, he's got a blue LA hat on. You know who you are. You were in front of me. He knows exactly. You didn't finish. I think you did that on purpose. I think you're a coward, and you did that on purpose.
You didn't want to make the decision, so you pulled yourself out, pulled the ripcord.
And then I had to overtip on your behalf. You're a bad guy.
You know, it's a lot of fun. One of my favorite places to tip because it takes people a little bit to recognize me. And Middle America loves my face.
Oh yeah,
and
you are Middle America.
Yeah, I am very much. I'll do a shaped like it. I do like a little late night drive through. Like on the road, we're driving from here to there. We're going from Peoria to Wabash, Indiana, last weekend. Right. We're driving. We hit up the BK. I'm getting myself an Impossible Burger meal because Are
you vegetarian?
Vegetarian, yeah.
Good for you.
So I go and I hit the thing, whatever. And the guy is out front as we roll up. There's a typed out note. We're understaffed. Sorry, we have to close at midnight. It's 11:40 when we pull into this thing, right? He's out back. I see him. He's smoking a cigarette. And he sees us and he does one of these. Puts out the cigarette, goes behind the box. I'm like, here he goes. He's going to go. And he's like, welcome to Burger King. Can I take your order? And I was like, oh, I didn't expect him to be so pleasant about it. We roll up. We place the big order. It's an order. We have some people in the car. We roll up. And he's sitting there and he's like, I'm like, oh, I saw the sign. He goes, yeah, man, it's just me. And we've done like $300 worth of business. And I was like, oh, just now? He goes, no, all day. It's been crazy. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, my order came like $50. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like,
you're all the business.
So he's sitting there, he's doing his thing, whatever. And at the end, I just took a 20 and I said, dude, I appreciate you. Thanks. I'm sorry you're so overwhelmed. And he goes, yeah, man. And he finally looks me in the face and he goes, no. And I drove away on the no. So you just heard him go, no, thank you.
That's
awesome.
Out
the window, which is cool. But I love tipping the drive-through people late night because I feel like they are unsung heroes.
They are. Well, it's funny because I think it's a lot of times they're not supposed to take tips, which I think is flagrant. Let them take a tip.
Yeah.
Why can't you tip those people? I don't even understand that.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be expected, but it should be a nice thing to do, right?
Yeah.
I've had multiple times where we're at a thing and they're not supposed to take a tip. We just did it. We had drivers, and Bobby tried to give the driver a tip, and the guy's like, hey, man, we're not allowed to because we're paid out by the thing or whatever.
Did you drop it?
Bobby left it for him anyway, but it's also like...
I drop it in the car.
He was like, we can't.
Yeah, whenever they say I can't, I go, oh, okay, just make sure you check the back seat if I forgot anything, and I leave. I just put $100 bill on the plate. I do it all the time.
There's a bag of money and drugs back there.
That's the best. You ever do that? You ever leave a fake bag of drugs?
No, good God, yeah.
For that, I've run into that with casino security a lot, too. Because in casinos, when we're playing a place, whatever, they'll give us a security guard just to hang out with us, make sure we're not, getting bugged or whatever. And those guys will walk you wherever. And then you go to tip them, like, oh, I can't. And I'm like, you just all night were with me till 3 in the morning.
They're told for some reason that it's not okay. Yeah. But here's the difference. I don't get the business philosophy. You can tell your staff, hey, we're not supposed to expect gratuity.
You're supposed to ask. It's different than saying yes or no.
But then accepting it is different than expecting it.
Who are you to tell this person they can't have $100?
I don't like it. Particularly if it's a casino. They're making millions and millions of dollars.
And they can't from somebody who wants to tip them for their service. What they've done. That's weird.
I think that we're going to change the mold. We're going to keep this going. Yeah. How about this? What do you feel? How do you feel about tipping flight attendants? This is interesting.
Well.
I haven't done this often, but only a few times have I done this when I had some like exceptional service on a very, very long flight that I threw a little bit of something because I thought that was, I don't know, they were very cool, this person, and we were chatty, and I don't know. I felt like I don't know. Is that weird? That's weird.
That's a little weird for me. You know what I do for that in that situation is I always do a review.
Ah, you leave a review.
I take a picture with Delta, and I take a picture of the person. I said, "Do you mind?" And I'll tag Delta in it because I fly Delta pretty well. And I say, "Hey, they were
Marcus was amazing.
So great. Yeah, it was so great.
Yeah.
Made my flight or whatever. Do something like that." I've never broken them off cash, but I think you've just opened my mind to it.
It wasn't anything crazy.
I feel like they would think it's weird.
They did. He did. Yeah, for sure. It was weird.
Because you stuffed it in his pants.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, I put it
in my teeth and I got down on it in my knees. It was a whole thing, but anyway.
If you just shook his hand with it, could have been different. Yeah. I love the shake, the hidden.
That's how I did it.
Oh, that's the best.
But that's how I did it when I said goodbye to him. I shook his hand goodbye, and then I think it was extremely unexpected. And he was like, "Oh, what?" But by that time, I'm gone.
Yeah.
Do what you will, whatever. I feel like at that point.
Did he know who you were?
Yeah.
So did you feel a little bit? That's the worst when you know they know you and they wait to tell you when the tip is dropped, when the thing's dropped. They're like, by the way, didn't want to bug you. Huge fan. Now you're like, now I got to go hard.
But maybe it's a story. Now he has a story and he's telling someone somewhere, and that, in the long game. One guy has a story at a dinner with a friend that does it. That's a cool, right?
Love that.
Doesn't that feel nice to do little drops?
I love a good encounter with fans out there.
Right.
That's the best part about being what we do. Is like you get to blow people's minds with stuff like that.
If they're cool.
100%.
If they're drunk and they're grabby and they're crazy, like sometimes
I apologize. I don't know how many times you want me to say I'm sorry.
Just sober up already. This guy grabbing my wiener in public. He's like, I'm a big fan. It's like, dude, I get it. No, I just don't like it when if they're really drunk and they're grabby and handsy. I'm always like, dude, relax.
Yeah, drunk is.
I want to say hi and have fun and take a photo. I'm always down to take a photo and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But like the drunk thing is tough because people get really wasted and they just get a little grabby, touchy feeling.
Are you out after the show in the thing after?
Not anymore. Not really. But that's only because I just want to get rest. If we're traveling, I'm tired and I want to go to the next city. And I think
you're golfing. You're out here.
Well, I love to golf in the morning. Yep. But I think people don't realize that it's your weekend, but it's my work day.
Yeah.
Do you know? So I think that's what's tough. People want you to be out and about doing the thing, and you're like, I got to go. I'm leaving in 9 hours to go to another city.
Right.
So I got to go, get a little bit of sleep, and then wake up and do it all over again. So it is tough because you do want to be entertaining. No one could do what Kreischer does. Bert's like, meet me at the bar, and they all go. That would give me crazy anxiety. Yeah. I can't do that. I can't be in the middle of the thing. I started to get more social anxiety as I've gotten older. Just because I'm more protective of my time. I used to just be down, and now I'm like, you got to get rest. Like, go to bed.
You got to think about the next show too, right? Like, you want to do it again for the people on the same level.
I don't want to give them a shitty show the next night because I'm tired, and I just was out all night, and then the drive was bad, or the flight was delayed. And I get into that in my mind more so now than I ever have. When I was young, I was like, I'll storm through all this, but now it's gotten harder and harder. Like, you're in the middle of the road right now, or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
I got my new tour now.
You got a lot going on? You got a lot of dates?
Yeah. I just started, so my new one's out now.
Till when?
Announced through May, and then I'll go a little bit forward. Yeah. Because I had almost 4 months off in the summer. I ended this last tour.
Yeah.
In March, and then I took the summer with the kids, and I started up now.
You went to camp with them? You went to summer camp the whole time?
No, they stayed home. I went. The other kids, not my kids, stayed home.
I'm swimming in the lake.
I was going. I'm doing cannonballs on the swingy, on the Tarzan swing. I did. That was fun. So let's get into it. It's my new tour, all new stuff, and that one out. And then my special, I named "Messing with People" is the one that's available now, and that was my tour for 2.5 years. So
good God.
So I had 4 months off in the.
You always name the special after the tour?
No, it wasn't. It was called Joe Gatto's Night of Comedy.
Oh, okay.
That one, and I named it "Messing with People" because that was the theme in it when you watch it.
Sure.
I didn't really know what it was when I started it. It was just like, it's a night of comedy.
I don't think any of us do.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all trying to put it together with the crowd, especially because if you have if you have a big chunk of jokes that kind of don't fit one centralized theme, I think it's hard to start to sew those together because you're like, man, I want to talk about this, but I want to talk about this, but these things are kind of all over the world. So I find that hard. I commend these comics that we have in our business that we're friends with that can string together kind of like a beautiful, it's like a symphony. It's like a story.
Yeah.
I'm more of like, this is what I'm thinking, that's what I'm thinking, that's what I'm thinking, that's what I'm thinking. And I have to find this weird little
but
rope.
you have good in and out moments though. Like you have clean segments. Like
I try, yeah.
Sometimes like I never feel like when I watch you and you're like, so power tools, right, guys? Like that's rough. You see some guys, it's like, oh, that you got to find a segue from.
Right.
I didn't have that much. Messing with people was kind of like just an amalgamation of stuff, and it really just talked about my personality, right? So it's like I always mess with people. This new one, Let's Get Into It, I feel has way more of a theme. I think also just because I'm better at stand up doing it over 3 years instead of my first time doing it. So this one, I feel like I've done a little bit better job of weaving it all together.
Right, and that just comes with that. Honestly, comes with time, and then some of them come together just a lot easier. I find that with some of these sets, they just come together a little bit easier, and the other ones you really like. You really start to put your brain to it.
There's so much anxiety with naming the tour, isn't there?
Nightmare. Absolute, a literal nightmare.
We used to be lucky because when we did the Jokers tours, we would just pick a phrase from the show. It's like, where's Larry? Santiago sent us. It was all just like stuff from the show. So it was like written for us.
Yeah,
then they were like, what are you going to name your show? I'm like, Joe Gatto's Night of Comedy. Like
it's perfect. But that's what it is.
That's all it is.
I think we work so hard on these titles and these names, and then people are inherently going to either, love them or hate them.
Or not care.
I guess that's all the options. Yeah. But I mean, I feel like we care so much sometimes that you're like, are people, is that stupid? Nobody really gives a shit. Yeah. It doesn't really matter. That's why I think like the next special I put out, I really do think it's going to be called Andrew Santino Live in Blank, wherever I shoot it.
Oh, that's a weird title. You should name it the city where you shoot it.
No, Live in Blank. Live in Blank. You never in a blank?
Blank, Arkansas?
Well, it's in Kansas. Blank, Kansas. Arkansas has one for sure. No, Blank, Kansas. No, when I decide, I just think that'll be the way that I do it, is just live in something, because the pressure is it's just way too heavy-handed at this point. I don't know what.
And people watch it because of you. They're always going to look at the title and be like, oh.
It's you.
Flubby Dubby?
Right.
That sounds fun. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, Flubby Dubby
is great.
You do that. Well, like, look at Chappelle. I mean, there's some guys like Louis does one-word titles, right? Yep. And then Chappelle does equanimity and the bird theory. It's like, it really doesn't matter.
I think that might be a little bit for them now, too, at this point, right?
Of course it is.
Yeah, it's like,
well, they're so famous that it doesn't matter. They're fucking with you with how little they're giving you or how much they're giving you. Doesn't really matter. It doesn't. It just it has no bearing. You're gonna watch it. Of course, with Dave, it always has to have something to do with the title, with the through line or the depth of the special. But I just think people don't really care. I think people just want to see you. And now the bites of which they're consuming us are so small now. Yeah, it's got to be fast. It's like fast, and they just want it right now. They don't want to wait. You know what I mean? Like, they just want you to like give it to me right now, because the internet it's so fast. We're never going to be able to beat it. You're never going to beat the internet. Yeah. That's what's getting scarier. Yeah. Like, will we
Is that the scariest thing for you?
To me, yeah. We can't get over the internet.
You don't think a fake you is the scariest thing?
No, I just think the internet's going to beat us to every joke. The internet has beat us with every joke. It's got it out before you could ever put it out.
Yeah, that's true.
If it's a public joke, right? If it's about, it's always something that's in, politics or Trump or whatever. The internet's got it. It's already there. Yeah. The internet's got it there already. Yeah. Because they did it that morning on Twitter.
Right. Even if you're getting up that night somewhere.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Well, that's why Tonight Show jokes, monologues, you watch these days, it's so hard because it's already been done. By the time they've said it, it was on Twitter, it was on Instagram, it was on TikTok, it's already been spread through the internet. And on YouTube, there's people that will put out a YouTube chunk of things the day after something happens. Tonight Show how could they get that fast? Yeah, they couldn't. It's pretty impressive. I mean, are you scared of that AI future of us? Of it taking it away from us? Of it being
No, I think I can only be improved upon. So I've always thought technology as an ally. There is some, look, with everything, there's some scary shit. You see some stuff with like when they do these like fake phone calls and it's like, this is a robot talking to you and it's taking your social security number and like, I don't like, that's a little tough. I do fear some of that stuff, but I almost got scammed, which was so weird. My wife is like, hey, Joe, the electric company just called the business line for my nonprofit for Gatto, Pups and Friends. And she's like, hey, they just called. They said they're going to shut the electricity because you didn't pay the bill. And I have so many different accounts with the nonprofit in mind. I was like, maybe I didn't link it up or whatever. So I call the guy and he's like, hey, thank you for calling, whatever the name of the electric company is. And he's like, he's like, your balance is due. And I said, I'm looking at it right now. I said, it's up. It's fine. And the guy goes, no. He's like, all right, look, what you have to do is you have to pay the amount due, and then we'll credit back to your account once they work it out in the system. But your lights are going to get shut off by noon. And it was like 10 a.m. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah. I was like, all right. I said, no. I said, all right, how do I pay it? And he goes, oh, well, we don't take credit cards over the phone. And he goes, I'll send you.
You got to go to a MoneyGram in your neighborhood.
He goes, I'll text you a CVS barcode and you take it to the CVS and pay it. And when they pay it, don't tell them it's for the electric because they'll hit you with a surcharge. Just say you have to pay this. Mm-hmm. So I go, great. And I hang up. And then I go, wait a minute. This is also weird. They text over the thing. Call back. The guy, about 10 minutes later, he calls me back. He's like, hey, just wondering if you got the thing and you were able to, complete it. I don't want to have to shut your lights off. I said, yeah, dude, I'm not paying. He goes, oh, man, fuck you, and hung up.
Good business,
like,
bro.
But he got that far on me, and I was like, oh, shit.
You almost got sunk.
I almost got sunk.
That's bad. My grandmother almost got sunk one time. It was wild. The guy called, she picked it up, and he said, Grandma, it's me, which should have been the first clue because we never called her Grandma. But Grandma, it's me, and then she elicited the name of one of her grandkids. Right, so she said the name, and he goes, "Yes, it's me." So then she was sunk a little bit already, and he said, "I got caught. I'm in jail for smoking pot. They caught me with pot." And she was like, "Oh no!" And he's like, "But I don't want you to call my mom and dad because I don't want to get in trouble. Can you help me out? Can you bail me out? I need you to go to another one of these things. Like go to a location and get a MoneyGram out or money like this, and bring it to this location. Blah blah blah." And then she hung up the phone, nervous because she wanted to help her grandson out, but then she thought, this doesn't seem this seems strange.
Off, yeah.
So she called someone else in the family, which obviously cleared that that's not true at all. That the grandson she was talking about is fine with a bunch of friends, blah, blah, blah.
He's already in jail.
Yeah, he's been in jail for 20 years. No, but it's so obvious. The biggest joke about us was we always laugh, she's gone now, sadly, but we always laugh because had she have known, the grandson she picked does smoke pot, does smoke a lot of pot, but so does his dad and mom. So it's like, this wouldn't have been the family to pick. No. Had she known, it would have been like, I'm in trouble for pot. It's like, no chance. Yeah. They all smoke pot.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And definitely call your dad. He'll bail you out because it was his pot that you got. You know what I mean?
He wants it back. You owe
Yeah.
him.
It was like, what are we talking about? But yeah, she almost got.
Those are, I mean, the balls.
Picking on the old people. Yeah. You should be stoned in the town square.
Yeah.
If you pick on old people, we should be able to stone you and stream it live.
I do.
Yeah.
I love watching the people that get the scammers. That's so fun. You ever go
Those
down that rabbit
unbelievable.
hole?
There's a girl that I watched.
Why aren't
so
they
good.
solving like murder mysteries?
I know.
They are unbelievable.
Oh, it's kind of like the hackers of this world. Like, how come the hackers? I think they're having so much fun doing stuff like that. They don't want to have a boss and be told what to do. They're rebels, right? Yeah. They're renegades. It's these are like the Robin Hoods. Like Robin Hood wouldn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but they're robbing. They're not giving to the poor.
Yeah, but they're not. Well, they're not taking money. Those scammers are just scamming the scammers.
Oh, those people. Yes.
Yeah,
I see
yeah.
what
They're
you're
just
saying.
scamming
Yes.
the scammers.
I love that.
So it's kind of like no one.
I thought you were talking about the scammers themselves. Right. The people who are scamming the scammers are my heroes.
Yeah, 100%. Well, the scammers, those guys. I mean, that's a whole.
Yeah.
That's a whole thing.
Yeah, but the people that do it and like stream it and you watch it, I hours. I just sit there and watch it. It's
There's
so
a girl that's so good, and then she has a voice box changer.
She does the voice box changer, and then she talks like the grandma.
She's so
I love
good.
her. She's so good.
She's incredible how she's able to get these guys, and they. What they do is that they retransfer the money that was supposed to go into their account, but they hack their accounts, so they drain their accounts, which I think is it's so impressive they're able to do that. I think the government, I'm sure, is working on a faction hiring those people so they can collapse. You know what I mean? An entire industry.
Sure.
And that's why Rite Aid's out of business because of people like that. That's why.
Man,
it's gone forever.
Missed Rite Aid.
R.I.P. Man.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Aid. I miss the ice cream at Rite Aid. Those were the good old days. Terrible with the crusted over frozen. The icicles all over.
Yeah.
I used to walk home from the comedy store, and there was a Rite Aid on the way home, and I used to always get ice cream late at night. It was awful, awful, awful ice cream. Freezer burn all over.
But you were supporting it.
I loved it though. I think it was just a nice sweet treat on the walk home because the walk was a couple miles. So I was like, it's a couple miles. Don't I deserve some ice cream? You know how we justify that? You're like, I walked.
Come on,
I walked. Yeah, it's 9,000 calories. I walked a mile.
You also had so many beers. You walked.
Yeah, 13 or 14, big deal. You knock one out, that's all.
I'm getting rid of these calories.
Enough. Yeah. Are you working out? Are you a big workout guy on the road or no? I'm talking to the guy behind you.
Clearly.
Yeah. What? Never, huh?
No,
never exercising on the road.
I have tennis elbow. I don't know how.
Yeah, really?
Right
you don't
now.
play tennis?
Right now I have tennis elbow. It's
How?
so funny. I don't know. I do not know.
So what, does it hurt when the flexation hurts or whatever?
Killing me.
How do you think you got it?
I don't know, Andrew. You're the athletic one.
Lifting anything?
I have children. I pick them up. I don't know.
That's it.
Wrong way.
Yeah.
My son's getting a little bit bigger. I shouldn't have done this maybe when I threw him on the bed.
Getting a little heavy. That's why. Maybe he needs to lose the weight, not you.
That's it. This son of a bitch. Yeah, he damaged me. No, like I've always been able to lose weight by changing what I eat and when I stop eating during the night.
Well, eating is, they always say that's the biggest. But
for me, that's the way my body for sure works. Like when I cut out stuff and I stop, like I eat half the plate instead of the full plate, and I do that kind of stuff.
Don't you love a full plate, though?
But I love full plate. I'm in full plate action right now, so I'm having fun.
You're cleaning all of it. How long you been a veg? I didn't know you were a veg.
You did. We talked about it last time I was here. You should watch these episodes. They're good.
Are they? Oh, this is being recorded. How long have you been a veg?
At this point, I think
when
it's
we
years.
ate at the hotel, when you were at the Andes.
I got you meats.
Yeah, but you didn't get I don't know. I guess I didn't.
Well, we ate family style. That's why there was a bunch of fun stuff.
I don't ever pay
attention. It's the only way to
attention.
eat.
Yeah.
Family style is the only way to eat.
So how long has it been again?
I think 8 years at this point, 9 maybe.
My God.
Yeah, a long time.
And I say congratulations, good for you. Then I think about it. Yeah, it is good for you if it works for you. I guess
it works for you.
Yeah,
I'm not one of those preachers.
No,
why
I don't.
Would you those be? People,
it's silly.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I never get into it with people about it. It's like whatever. It's like it is what it is. You eat what you want.
Some people make you feel real guilty about it.
Yeah. Some people hit you with the jaw thing. You hear that? You're like, our jaws. We're meant to. If your jaw doesn't go side to side, you're meant to grind. You're supposed to be eating plants.
Really?
Like how our jaw goes around.
Yeah.
Like a lion just rips. They only could do this. They can't do this.
Right. Well, clearly the jaw thing is a missed argument because I just went to the dentist again and. I'll tell you what, they never brush these things, and now we're brushing them all the time, and nothing but problems. So let me tell you, I swear to God, the back, it's so crazy. It's like
wisdoms.
For years, I never had any problems, nothing. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he's like, "Oh yeah, everything is messed up." Well, I have 3 of my 4
came through.
No.
Still
one's
hiding.
impacted.
Oh,
one's impacted, and the others are halfway out or whatever. And for years, I've been take them out, and then I said. I said, honestly, is it a health issue? And they were like, no. I'm like, well, then I'm not taking it out.
Don't do it.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, right? I guess I don't get it. I'm not taking it out unless they go, this has got to come out.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
I had 2 came in clean. 1 I didn't have, and 1 got impacted, but I lost the tooth in front of it, so it just grew in a little bit like a curvy.
Sideways?
In the back, so a little sideways action. So I'm all set.
You're
I didn't have to do any of it. I got out scot free. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I had to go again, and it's a whole nightmare. They make you feel so bad about it. He made me feel so bad about it.
Nobody in the world is more judgy than a dental assistant.
What is that? Like a doctor's like, hey, man, we're going to get through this together.
Yeah, I got your hand. They hold you. Bedside manner.
Dentist.
Yeah, dentists are like, you disgusting.
Scumbag.
When's the last time you flossed, you piece of shit?
Like, I flossed yesterday. And they're like, sure.
Yeah. Did you this morning, though?
Look at this. Look at this.
They pull out a full hamburger.
I don't like that they show it to you. They show you. They're like, look at this. You're like,
See what I did?
I don't want to see it.
You spit, and you spit in the sink, and you just have all this food, and it's like, see?
Yeah, they keep it.
Yeah, they keep it. And I put it in a jar. Next time you show up, you're like, did you do better?
Pay your copay and get out.
Get out.
And get out of our office. No, it's the...
So, yeah, the dentist has always been, for me, it was always so guilty. Like, they always hit you. That's so funny. I've never really analyzed it that much.
Such a guilt
you.
trip thing. And as a kid, we all went to the same dentist. My sister still goes to the dentist we went to when I was a kid, which is funny. He's watched us, like, grow up. And he was... the nicest guy. He's like the nicest, sweetest, coolest dude. He's still his family dentist for my family. And now I come out to LA and they're all bullies. And so I think, what if I just go home and go to the dentist? Yeah, I'm home every 2 months anyway.
You feel like everything's fine.
Yeah, who cares? Yeah.
I had do you ever see I had an abscess tooth? You know what that is? So when you get it's root canals are the way to get around them. Like if you have a tooth that you need a root canal and you don't get it, then it gets an infection. It goes into your jaw. You get an abscess tooth. So the infection is under your tooth, right? Oof. And it makes your jaw blow up. It's how people died back in the day. The infection goes to your brain. You have to get it done within like right away. It's like a big thing, right? But your face blows up. So I woke up one morning. I come downstairs. My mom, rest in peace. I come downstairs. Half my face is out. She goes, what the fuck's happening to your face? And I said, what? I knew my face hurt, but I didn't like look in the mirror yet. I had just woken up, right? She goes, good, look, you look like Jay Leno. And I go in the thing and half my face was out. She's like, we got to go to the dentist, right? So I go to the dentist. And the guy was like, oh, we could treat it or whatever. And he's like, oh, we could just yank it. I'm like, fucking pull it out. I don't want to be treated. Just pull it out. Give me my amoxicillin. And that was the tooth that saved me from the wisdom tooth.
Oh, my God. So, by the way, is that what's really going on with Jay Leno? Do you think he's got a bunch of abscessed teeth? Is that the bottom line of it? Is that the real root of this story? Is that you're trying to tell Jay, wake up.
Check your teeth out, pal. I'm just
wondering. Can you imagine my dad? How did your dad die? He died from an obsession. Back in the day, the stuff that people died from. Like, I think I watched this Wyatt Earp documentary, which I don't know if you're familiar or know anything
with
about
Wyatt
that.
Earp.
Yeah, or the
Earps in general.
As the whole. Yeah, the brothers.
The
like the whole story. It's kind of beautiful. They have a doc on it right now. And they talk about how many people died from, I think it's tuberculosis, right? Yeah, TB. But they used to call it, oh God, I want to find the word so bad. Tuberculosis. They used to call it, come on, I'm going to get it. I swear to God. They used to call it...
we could cut all this out.
Please, yeah, don't cut this out. Yeah, watch me hunt for it. Oh, God, the word is called... Come on, Joe. You're here with me.
He's got
Figure it out. You got it.
The word for tuberculosis?
Well, before they said that, they called it something else, and it's not cessation. It's like
You're just throwing words out. I don't even know. I think you made the word cessation
man,
up.
this is gonna bum me out. So I'm gonna have to Google it right now.
Go in. I'll just riff. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this episode where we discuss airports and olden time ways to die.
What do we used to call tuberculosis? Consumption.
God, I know that. I knew that. I'm
They used to
sorry.
call it concussion.
Yeah.
So Doc Holliday, I guess, when he moved to Tombstone, had a terrible case of consumption. And this is the funniest thing. Back then, so many people had consumption, right? It was just such a common thing.
Yeah.
And his fix was they were like, well, have a little bit of whiskey. And for some people, it would help like subside the pain and all that stuff. This dude was a blackout drunk and would get into gunfights, blackout drunk, and was still like a phenomenal shot, I guess, but lasted so long because the whiskey kind of like pickled his insides, so to speak. So consumption took him a long time for him to die.
He overconsumption.
He was over-consuming. That guy was consuming. He consumed so much, consumption went away.
That's right.
It was impressive to watch.
He was consumpted.
He was consumpted, fully consumpted.
Wow.
But it was a crazy documentary to watch how many people had it,
Yeah.
and how many people died right away, but people just lasted a super long time with it. But I guess he was this kind of enigma, and he would just drink all day, every day, but was still like such a functioning, like a high functioning alcoholic, and was one of the best shots.
Which is...
He could shoot a gun, blacked out drunk, and was good.
I wonder if he was bad sober. I wonder if he had no aim sober.
Oh, right. Shaky sober.
It's like, I can't do
Don't
it.
mess with Holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait till he gets liquored up. No, it was a fascinating doc about the Earps and the shootout at the OK Corral. And I was just, my dad and I watched it when I was back home. He loves that old Western.
He does, yeah.
That's kind of what, my dad is stuck in that time.
I think that's a dad thing.
He loves
I don't
it.
think our generation is, like that was, I have uncles, my dad loved Westerns, but I have like uncles and stuff that age, like our generation one up from us, that love Westerns. I don't think that exists, a love of something like they loved Westerns.
I
and
like it,
entertainment.
but I never got it
You
the
know?
way he fell in love with it.
My dad would shut us up if a Western was on. He'd be like,
Oh, yeah.
shh.
John Wayne.
Yeah.
It was such a big deal for my dad. I don't know why he loved that stuff so much. I think it's because it felt like, because he's a kid that grew up in North Carolina in the mountains. So the Wild West for them was always this like fascinating
Yeah,
place.
you know what? I lied. You know what that is for us? Superhero movies.
I get-
Because
it is.
cowboys were their superhero,
That
right?
is true, yeah.
I think for us, a lot of these superhero movies, there's a lot of people that get really into and dive in a way of those
Yeah, what
things.
Star Wars did was probably what John Wayne did for little kids.
Right, yeah.
Playing cowboys and Indians was...
He's the Chewbacca of
Right?
the West.
I'd say Darth Vader, but yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
same
some say
deal,
so.
yeah.
Yeah, well, who was Princess Leia then of the cowboy world?
Oh, that's, yeah, who's the...
Well, what's the woman in...
What's the girl, who's the woman who famously got tied
Gone
to
with
the
the
tracks?
Wind. Oh,
yeah.
yeah, I'm thinking of...
Not Doris Day.
No, but Doris Day, what a singer. Wrong world. Catherine O'Hara? No.
Catherine Hepburn?
Catherine Hepburn?
Hepburn.
Who knows? We're wrong.
Faye.
Faye.
Faye Dunaway.
Faye Dunaway.
Faye Dunaway.
There it is.
Yeah.
All these names are probably wrong, and someone at home is being like, they don't
No,
know what
no,
they're
they're
talking
talking
about.
about.
No, he loved it. Like my dad loved Andy Griffith. I've seen so many episodes of Andy Griffith. Some of our listeners have literally no idea what that is.
But they'll Google it now and they'll see it.
Right, they'll know who Ron Howard was, who I was called
Yes.
when I was a kid a lot, Opie.
Opie.
All the black kids at school, they go Opie, right? Hey, here come Opie. They used to
called
say
you
that all the
Opie?
time. Oh, Opie, yeah,
Yeah.
I was little Opie Taylor. Because at the time, that was something that was like a cultural reference, that a little red-headed, big-eared kid was Opie Taylor.
Yeah.
Who would be Ron Howard. It's funny because, man, what a cute kid, and then, and man, what a good director.
Great director.
Great director.
Great director.
Get behind
Yeah.
the camera. Well, I'll never work with him anymore. That's the end of that.
That's it. It's done.
No, he is a phenomenal director. But yeah, I was called Opie as a kid.
One of my favorite Ron Howard stories ever. We were somewhere doing something with the network, and Ron Howard's coming out of this party that we were going into. I'm with Q, Brian,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we were walking in, and he was like, we just got out of the car. He was waiting for his, about to get in his car, and he walked by us, and he's got to us, right? Ron Howard made all these movies we love,
Phenomenal.
right? So he walks by, he's on his cell phone, and Brian just goes, Ron Howard, and points in his face, and Ron goes, hey, and just gets in the car. And he walked away, and Q turned white. He goes, I just pointed in Ron Howard's face and said his name. I'm
Right.
such an idiot. Like, that was his
Ron
money.
Howard.
Ron Howard.
Correct.
Yes, you're right.
Good
You
boy.
win a prize.
Yeah. Get him a star. You want a star,
That's
buddy?
it,
You want
you're
a
in.
sucker?
Oh.
I mean, we've all felt that way about someone where, like, I don't get, I don't know. I don't
Who's
get
the best person you worked with, you think? That you were like, oh my God, I'm working with this person.
tongue-tied. But I don't get, and no one really makes me, like, nervous like that, but there's people that I think are, I don't like, I did the movie with William H. Macy. I thought he was just incredible. I don't know. I've always been like, that guy's incredible. And we didn't really do a lot together. We had a couple of scenes, but he was one of those guys I just think is a unbelievably good actor.
Amazing.
Yeah, he's not intimidating as a guy. He's a very sweet guy. He's not like off-putting. But I don't get nervous around any of those guys or anything. I just there's some people I'm significantly more impressed by, and then other people would go, "That you don't. That's not more impressive." I'm like, not really.
Right.
It
So I wouldn't
depends
say-
for me what it is.
You not nervous like or tongue tied, but do you find yourself in your head a little bit that you're sitting with that person or being whatever? Like,
No, the only time I get a little bit of a hiccup is but right before we work. If we're about to do work together, right before we work, then I think, all right, be good in front of this person because like don't look like a dummy and know your shit. Come be a professional.
you don't want to be the guy that's not
I
professional.
just don't want to be unprofessional. I don't want to I don't want to look lazy to them. I don't want them to be like, "What are you doing, dude?"
Yeah.
Well, like what?
You want to be the guy everybody's talking about.
Correct. Yeah, I just don't want that thing. Other than that, no, I don't get all chewed up by it. I just think like, come prepared and be legit. It's important, I guess, because you want to show them that like, I do my job too. I don't give a shit if they think I'm good or not. I care if they know that I'm professional.
Professional, right?
Yeah, because
that's probably the biggest slap in the face of somebody who's trying to be professional and they're across from this.
Yeah, and someone's goofing, right?
around,
I've made some dumb mistakes. We've talked about it before on Bad Friends that I had a table read in front of Will Ferrell and I just ate shit in front of him and forever I was like, man, this sucks. I wasn't being unprofessional at all. I was very prepared. I just didn't do a great job at the read, so I was bummed.
Yeah.
I was like, man, in front of Will, of all people,
right.
And sure enough, it wasn't. I wasn't going to have that role anyway. It was doing a favor to do a read where they want to see how the comedy works in the room, which is also a little insulting because then you do it and you see the guy that did it, that played the role, like they just offered it to that guy. I had to go read it, make sure it sounded right so they could punch it up, and then they gave it to someone famous. Yeah, which is that's your whole career. It truly is like until you get to a point when they're interested in you. You're the fluffer. You're the warm up guy.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm just spitting on my hands and getting everybody ready. That's all. I mean, truly, you're like, get in there, warm them up, let's hear how it sounds.
Yeah.
I did that for years. I would go into script readings for people because they wanted to hear me do a comedic take on something so they could punch it up and then give it to the next guy, which sucked. I hated that feeling. There was a couple. I mean, I did it for Judd a lot.
Yeah.
Judd. Never got put in anything by Judd. I did a bunch for Judd. I did a bunch for a lot of people where I'd come in. And then you'd kill it. They'd be like, "Dude, that's awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
You brought it to life.
Thank you so much."
Yeah,
it's gonna go to Emil Hirsch or something. You're like, "What?"
See you later.
Yeah, it was just so weird how they would shape those things. But I think it's also because they want to hear it come through a different party's voice to see how they could then refit it into someone else.
Yeah.
Because if you were too similar to whoever it was, it'd be.
I got a joke in Wonder Woman 2.
Nah.
From a set visit.
Come on.
Yeah, it was great.
Give it to me.
So there's a scene that she's fighting in the mall. It was back in the day. We was set in the, whatever,
Sure.
1985. So she's fighting in the mall, whatever. And I'm good friends with Patty Jenkins, the director. So it was my birthday weekend. She's like, come to set. I was in D.C. We were just filming Jokers. The movie was ending, and I was in D.C. I stayed an extra 2 days to go to set. So I'm sitting there, and I'm just, directing is my thing. That's like what I want to do eventually. So I'm sitting there and I'm like looking at it all and I'm just taking it all in, and to be on a set like that is crazy. They literally took over an abandoned mall and made it a 1980s mall.
Wow.
Like it was unbelievable what they
Or they
did.
just went somewhere in the valley and they're all 1980s malls. Just just go to the West Valley.
So it was like 3 floors of just all this stuff, and they were doing an action sequence where she's fighting all these guys, whatever, right? So she does this scene where Wonder Woman is like, they're shooting at her and she just grabs the gun and like smashes them, whatever. So Gal Gadot is does the whole thing into Wonder Woman thing, smacks the guns and walks back, and she's like, no, like that's the line she kept doing. And her and Patty, like I'm watching Patty watch her and whatever, and I'm sitting in Village, and she's like, she walks back, and they rewatch one, and she had done like a funny take where Gal like whipped her hair, and she was like, and Patty was like, you're not on a runway, like they're like joking about it, and I was just sitting there, and I was just like, yeah, you're like, I hate guns, and they started hysterical laugh. So the next take, she breaks them, she goes, I hate guns, and walks back, and that's what they used in the movie,
and it's in it.
It's in it, yeah.
No credit by the
and
way.
I was like, no, that's okay. You know what though?
No, that's not okay, Patty. Write the check, will you?
No, she's paid me back multiple times.
That is great though. That it's cool to have that. Like I did this little scene, this thing, and then they were trying to find a line, and I was friends with the director, and I'm in the scene, and then they were trying to find an insult for Woody Harrelson to say to me, and I'm not going to give it away because it's actually fun in the movie, but it was cool because Woody was kind of like going through different versions of what to make fun of me about,
yeah.
and I was like, who knows better than me of what to make fun of me about?
I know, yeah.
So I just threw him a line, and he was like, "That's funny, that's funny."
Oh, that's
And
wow!
then-
How cool is
and
that?
And then Woody asked the director, who I've known for a very long time, who's an old friend of mine, and he said, who's that guy? Because he no idea. And then he told Woody, and then kind of Woody glowed up to me a little bit. Was like, "Oh, great! I know comedian." Like then he was very interested. He thought I was just like some random day player in there.
Yeah.
But it was kind of fascinating to like watch him take the thing and then run with it. And then Isla Fisher was like, she's like, hey, you want to help me with some stuff? And I was like,
that's so cool.
yeah, sure. Yeah, you know what I mean? Where you're like, I got to rewrite the whole scene. You know what I mean? Write that check. No, but it was those moments that actually land in the movie or the show or something. It's magical. It is so wild.
I've got to imagine, because that's something you have that I don't have, like being in the movies, like when you were doing like, you know, any of these movies that you did, that you were able just to like throw something and watch it work and then watch it be in the end product. It's got to be such a cool experience.
It feels, but it's
because you're in there to see it happen,
right?
And it's not even happening, and then it happens, and then everybody laughs when I say cut, and then it's in the movie, and then the whole audience laughs because of something you thought of. It's got to be that.
Well, it's the same thing that we do with stand up, where you're like, it's like when you test out a joke for the first time at a club or whatever, and it pops a little bit, and then you keep doing it and it builds, and then when you get to the theater or wherever or just another club,
yeah,
and then it's really like ingrained in your set, and it works really, really well. Yeah. It's the same feeling as when you watch it live, that you're like, I can't believe I'm an idiot.
I know.
This worked.
Yeah, wow,
it worked.
This has fired off one round.
Yeah. Mom, it worked. You know, that's how it feels. You want to be a director in the future of your life as like that's kind of your end game goal.
Yeah.
Who's your like, who do you really want to work with? That you're like, you know, what would really make my career if I could work with.
Oh, as an actor,
director, actor, whatever you want.
Oh, gotcha. Funny you should ask. I have the script for you.
Oh, give it to me. Give it to me. You know I can't read, but yeah, give it to me.
No, I mean I'm a fan of like a lot of actors for different reasons. I mean, right now I just saw the new Speak No Evil. McAvoy is unbelievable.
Yeah,
he's unbelievable.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
he's just great. Like, I mean, I loved Split and all that too, but like he's unreal. So I think for me, he's probably up there for somebody. But if I'm doing like a comedy, like an action comedy kind of thing, I mean, there's just so many good comedians. It's like so many good comedic actors.
Yeah, but more McAvoy. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah,
something like that.
McAvoy is like, I feel like he would bring something to life, like in a way, you know.
Oh, he's incredible. I mean,
yeah,
talent. Sometimes you see these guys and you're like, what's going on?
Yeah.
You're different? Were you made? Did they make you somewhere?
Yeah. But you know what I always watch is like when you watch a scene between two people and you're like, this poor person's got to go and do this scene with them. Like, I can't even imagine what that moment is. In that movie, Speak No Evil, the kid that plays the main kid in it has one of the most emotional things I've ever seen. I went to the premiere. They brought him out on stage or whatever. He never acted once. This is his first thing.
What?
He looked like he was an Academy Award winner. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And it's all acting because he doesn't speak. It's Speak No Evil, right? So he doesn't, and it's all just face, emoting.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Well, sometimes the rawness of that is what
you need.
Yeah, it's like what propels people to like a different level because it's so organic.
Yeah.
A lot of times, you know, and I'm subject to this too, is overacting gets in your own way because you feel like you want to do so much because you want to make sure what you do gets in. So you do too much. We've all done that. I mean, I'm definitely one. I've overacted, so it's like because you really want it to like make it. You want it to make it. You want it to be.
You've overacted?
Good.
What? God.
It's my whole career. This guy stinks.
Yeah, that's tough though because like you're trying. I feel like that's when you don't understand what you're supposed to do. Like a lot of times you'll just like.
Well, you're trying to figure it out.
Yeah,
we're all trying to figure it out.
But you have to try to figure out on set too, right?
Yeah.
It's not fair that you're doing your read-throughs, you're doing whatever. That's not the moment. No. The moment that you figure it out is when the cameras are there. You're in the moment of the scene and what feels right. So you need those third, fourth takes. You know, it
is definitely you're going to school while you're. You know what I mean? Like you're in school for sure the whole time. Doesn't matter how much acting experience people have. I see all the good actors I've ever worked with. They're also kind of learning while they're doing. I mean, they know what they like and they know what they want to present. But you do see guys are still in school while they're doing it. The way that they work with different people depends on so many other factors.
Yeah,
it's impressive to watch. But you know, yes, I'll be in your movie at the end of the day if that's what you really want. Yeah,
I do. I would love to do a movie with you.
You kidding me? Fun. I will not take direction from you, but I will be in your movie.
That's okay. I won't need you to. I won't need you. I'll just go, and you just go. Woo!
There it
is. You're really scared in the scene. Do it.
Academy Award. I'd like to thank Joe Gatto for letting me just be me.
Finally, I get to do it.
Yeah.
Your new tagline is Zoinkies.
Zoinkies, and it's trademarked right now. Somebody trademarked that right now.
That's it. I'm writing a script where you say Zoinkies.
Zoinkies, that's it.
Oh,
just pop in, pop out.
Please
deliver a pizza. Zoinkies.
Can we make a pact right now?
Yeah, dude.
I do a comedy that you'll pop in and go Zoinkies.
You write it. I'll do it. You get it ready. I'll show up and do it.
Amazing.
No problem. But I do want. I do want to be compensated.
A significant amount of money.
Yeah, if I'm going to show up. No.
I just have to need to rewrite all Isla Fishers.
That's fine. If you can get her, that's fine. Yeah, I got to go to Budapest and do a little thing. I don't know if you've ever been there, Budapest.
Amazing.
Pretty cool. Well, yeah, it's 50-50. You're like, this is beautiful and amazing. It's also been rebuilt since it was war-torn.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you've been to any of these countries where you're like, Eastern Europe is beautiful. You can also feel you go 2 miles outside of town and you're like, ooh, my
They
God.
stopped building here.
Good God, yeah.
The money ran out here.
Well, because they also, you know, so much of it's trying to build for the past. So they want to make a lot of stuff look like it used to look 150 years ago, you know? So they try to make the architecture oftentimes reflect their history, which is hard. It's just hard to do.
Yeah.
But it feels, some parts of it feel like a movie set because it's like dystopian. You're like, this is like a blown out factory next door to somebody's home.
You look this way, there's a Starbucks in a mall. You turn around, there's just like crumbled.
Seriously, it's like a
crazy.
McDonald's, and then you're like what would be like a crack building in in a movie. I mean, it looks like Michael Bay got a hold of some of the town.
Right.
It's very weird. It does something to your brain because you're used to these like thriving Western European cities. When you go to Eastern Europe, you see pieces of that, glimpses of it, and then it's completely removed when you go a little bit outside of town. We walked for miles and miles because there were these natural thermal springs that we wanted to go to.
Oh, fancy.
Amazing. It was amazing.
Nice.
There's so many thermals out there, that different pool houses and bath houses, and there's really raw ones that are like out that you can go to, like out on the other side of the mountain, I guess. We didn't end up that far out, but it was wild to kind of go through their culture like that. To see the...
You don't expect that, though, either, right, when you're there?
My God, no. I mean...
What a different landscape just by turning 360, right? You're looking at all these different...
It is. I mean, it's fascinating because there's so much money in one part of it. So much money in one part of it. It's a lot of it's foreign money, you know? And then you go out and you can see how it's, you know, we're lucky. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, right.
The more I live, the more I travel, the more I'm like, man, we're pretty lucky. People can say whatever they want about, you know, well, I don't like this about this. You're like, I know, dude, but...
Yeah, but you should see that.
You should see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should go take a look at what it looks like post-war. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
War-torn.
that's what's fascinating that's I think the best part about doing that thing, about traveling and get out of your, you know, like we're going to Singapore, and I'm beyond excited because I've never been to South Asia.
I've heard nothing but great things about it.
Phenomenal, right?
Yeah.
Have you done an international tour or anything?
I've done, I did Australia.
Beautiful.
New Zealand.
We're going down there.
Oh, so great.
Yeah, good people.
Very great people.
Very good people.
Like comedy.
They
Really
do.
like comedy. It's
and,
great, good crowds.
And the best part
Wonderful.
about those people is they are happy because not a lot of people go down there.
Yeah, they don't have to deal with a lot of bullshit.
It's far.
Yeah.
It's very far.
Very
well,
far.
we're taking a boat. I don't know if you guys took a boat or a plane. We're boating down there.
You're boating from where?
From LA. We're going to boat down there. Yeah, I'm afraid of the flight, so we're going to...
You're getting there.
A
You're getting there
2-month boat
March.
ride? Yeah.
You're getting there March 2027.
Yeah, I just want to...
Rowing.
I want to get
You're
out.
gonna be jacked.
Yeah. I rode across. What's up with Santino's arms?
He burned some calories, man. He had that ice cream from Rite Aid.
You guys ready for some comedy?
You roll up with just consumption.
I have consumption now. Yeah. I've been drinking the whole time.
I caught it at sea. Yeah.
All right, so listen, I want to tell our fans and our friends to please watch your special and leave a comment. Comments are important.
Yeah.
Comment down below, nice face.
Yeah. So
I want a lot of people to write nice face.
That I know
because
it's
he
your
does
people.
got a nice face.
Thank
Nice
you,
face,
thank you.
Joe. So you can write in and let people know how much you appreciate this man like I do. Always a pleasure to have you on the show. Always so nice to have fun with you. And I want you to do me a favor and write Arizona. Let them bring back memory.
I'm getting you memory.
You'll do that for me?
I will get you memory.
Okay, good.
Yes. If you'll be in my movie, I'll get you memory.
Never mind. Scratch that. I don't want it.
Damn it.
No.
I overshot.
Go see Joe live. His tour dates are on his website, and you can go see him. He's all over this beautiful country, and go watch his special. And we end the show the same way. You look in that camera right there. You say one word or one phrase. You know, whenever you're ready.
Happiness.
In here, we pour whisk, 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 whisk.
You were that creature in the ginger beard.
Sturdy and ginger.
Like vampires, the ginger gene is a curse.
Gingers are beautiful.
You owe me $5 for the whiskey and $75 for the horse.
Gingers? Oh, hell no.
This whiskey is excellent.
Ginger. I like gingers.